following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, and that can mean only one thing. We are back. We are hanging with the boys.
Go.
Jesse Holley, Nate Newton, Shannon Gross, Kurt Daniels. You are looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Star in Frisco. It is a brisk 50 degrees today. Feels like 44 with the wind. The wind's kicking, man. The wind is kicking. We would like to thank Wingstop for sponsoring the show. We would like to thank SWBC Mortgage for sponsoring this studio, which Kurt is in studio with me today. It's good to have you in person, man. It's good to have you here.
It's kind of strange being back. I'm still trying to kind of get my bearings.
Yeah,
there.
we're behind the hockey glass here in the studio, but you know.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Good to see
Did security know you, Kurt? Like when you walked in, the security was like, "Hey, Kurt, what's up?
No.
Happy New Year, long time no see."
No, the guy,
or did you get accosted like Pat Ewing did when he walked back into the garden?
No, not quite like
I'm
that.
trying to figure out your level. I'm trying to figure out your level of celebrity.
There's a big
at
difference
the Star in Frisco.
His clout in the building. Trying to figure that out.
I'm trying to see the security give you kind of a little tip of the cap, a little head nod, like, "What up, Kurt? What's good?"
The gentleman working security had no clue who I was, and I had no clue
he just wanted you to scan your QR code and take your temperature, and that's all he wanted.
I've never seen
right?
the man before.
He's nice.
Very nice.
He's a very nice guy.
Very nice.
Yes, he's very nice.
I'm guessing there's been some turnover here since I've last been in the building, so no, I did not know him.
All right. Well, one other partner that we would love to thank today. We have got to give a big shout out and a huge thank you to Dunkin' Donuts. They supplied all of us, including Chris Beam back in the control room, with gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts, and they want us to talk about their cold brew with sweet cold foam. And I'm just going to read you the bullet points because they gave me different types of copy, and I just want to go through this and just read the bullet points to make it simple. It's new from Dunkin'. It's called the Sweet Cold Foam. It's the perfect way to top the perfect cup of Dunkin' Cold Brew. It's an added layer of silky smoothness on top of already smooth 12-hour steeped Dunkin' Cold Brew. Give a lift to every sip with this velvety feeling that you can't top. Try a medium chocolate stout cold brew with sweet cold foam, cold brew with sweet cold foam, or cold brew for $3. Cowboys run on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. It's a limited time offer. So huge shout out. I'm not a coffee guy, but you guys go try it and let me know. I will spend my gift card on straight up donuts.
That's my call too.
I am going with donuts, but if any of you got Nate, I know you're a big coffee guy. I know you don't like cold coffee, do you?
People
you
love
like
their coffee.
You like hot coffee, right, Nate?
I drink coffee, man. Y'all always hear me slurping on the show, and when I do that to mess with Jesse to get him.
Is that coffee? I thought it was Mr. Jones. You know. I thought it was. How you be 16-0 in it. I thought you was over there, just trying to make sure you was still in good favor with Mr. Jones, Mr. 16-0.
You drink ice.
Hey, you know what? Let me. I'm with Dunkin' all the way, and I'm just upset this morning, man. Besides the Dunkin' and all that.
Right. So before we go down this road, before we go down this road, thank you, Duncan. We really appreciate you.
Thank you, Duncan.
We are going to separate We're going to separate you from this conversation because angry Nate ain't no good for
nobody who's angry. From a fat black man who's angry.
All right, thank you, Duncan. Now, Nate, tell us what are you angry about today?
Every time I go against the grain and read Kurt's ideas for the day.
Oh no!
I get to see stuff like these people wrote. The Cowboys need to focus on leadership. They need to not worry about if a player good or bad or whether he can play or not, but he can come in and rah-rah us up. Come on, fellas. Come on, man. For whoever wrote this and it's a DM in, and I know who it is, come on, man. You need players that can play with leadership skills. And I hate to jump the gun, Kurt. I know this is your segment.
That was a big question I wanted to ask.
That. Jesse, would you like a guy that's old and decrepit that can't play to say,
not
Jesse,
decrepit,
you need to run this route like this, you need to run this route like that? Well, sir, can you get out here and show me? Well, my better days done passed.
Well,
come on, man.
But does leadership necessarily mean old? I mean, there's a lot of good leaders that are young. Dak Prescott being one of them.
But what I'm saying is, you're not going to go pay some 25-year-old that can't play. 9 times out of 10, you're going to play some 30-year-old or 31-year-old that can play or that has had great success. And that's who you're going to pay, an older guy, for this leadership ability. You know, but why not get that guy that's like 27 that got some great skills? Mm-hmm. You know, because I'm with you, Jesse, and you got on your Final Four uniform now and everything.
Let's go.
Because the Cowboys don't want to sign no free agents. I told y'all 4 months ago we'll talk about how bad this defense is, and now here today with free agency at an all-time favorite pitch on fire. And we went out and get Carlos Watkins, a 4th-round pick from the Texans.
Don't forget the deep snapper we got.
A 3-4 tackle.
Don't forget the deep snapper.
Woo! Maybe they got good leadership.
Woo! Yeah, leadership from watching the other kid, J.J. Watts, leave and get paid in full. That's the leadership. If we were going to pay somebody, let's pay him. Let's pay him.
That you do take some of that into account, though, right? I mean, you want guys that can help build your culture, or does it not matter? Does winning build the culture, and you just need a player?
This is not basketball, where you can go get a guy who's smart enough, who's up in age, that can still play and be on the court and not totally mess up the game. We got such a big and strong need on our defense. To if you don't have the right guy out there showing his abilities and his wares of what to do, you're spinning your wheels. Players make plays. Just another guy is cheering on the sideline, waiting to be traded and waiting to be shipped out of here.
Well,
I'm being honest now.
Yeah. Well, since we're here, kind of talking about the culture and players and all that, I mean, have you ever seen, we talk about building a good culture, but have you ever seen a team that had a good culture but didn't win? Is it kind of a chicken or the egg type thing where if you want a good culture, you have to win?
No. If you got the right culture, I've seen good teams who reach their peak and can't go any further. And I'll say 2 years ago, the Bears. They had a good team with a good culture, and they got as far as their quarterback stopped them. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, so the Bears, yes. You know, I've seen teams that have had good coaches and trying to go in the right direction, but they had a key player that stopped them, either through injury or through his inability to take his team over the top. So, bro, culture is something that you live, something that you breathe, and something that you do. You cannot have one without the other. You know, because we as players, you can't be 85 years old standing on the sideline, and you can't be a half a player saying, well, man, in my day, when I played and I won my 3 Super Bowls, I'm telling you, this is how we did it. I need to be coaching then. So I can be on these guys every day. Coaches can help with that culture too. Dan Quinn can help with that culture.
Right.
Coach McCarthy can help with that culture. But he needs players that he can put in place to show. Huh?
I would think the coaches would drive that.
But yeah, they would. They can drive it, but you need to have something to drive. A 1965 BMW Bug ain't gonna make it. You got to have something to drive, and I ain't talking about a Maserati. I'm talking about a big Ford F-250, baby, snatching everything out of the wheels, locking up everything on all fours and scratching and going, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So I said that Ford, send me a truck. Like Duncan selling some cars.
I like that partner placement in there, Nate. That was good.
Yes, sir.
I don't think they're going to be sending out gift cards like Duncan sends you gift cards, but
they sent Deion too, didn't they?
But they're always looking out for Deion. Like Shannon said, I can't get him on the show. You think Duncan, he want a Dunkin' Donut card? I don't think so. I don't think it happened. We love Dunkin' Donut card. But probably, he'll be like, can I get a partnership with Dunkin'?
Yeah. Can I get one of those franchises?
Yes, Jesse, he'll take it in a heartbeat.
Jesse, I'm concerned about you today. You have been extremely. Are you just so focused on the game today, the UNC game, that you mailing it in for the show?
Nah, we don't even play today. But I like when Nate get like this. I like it. I always tell you guys, a quiet pre-show Nate is an explosive in-game show Nate. So when you got so when your shooter is on fire, what am I taking shots for?
Let him shoot.
Feed him the rock. He hit 4 or 5 threes in a row. So when Nate come out the gate and say he upset, I sit back, I shut my mouth, and I let the big grizzly go. I let him go. So
let me ask you this here.
Yes, sir.
I got one more question to ask you. I want you to answer this, Shannon.
Okay.
If Kevin Sheraton said at the DMN, wrote, they need to stop trying to buy cheap quick fixes in free agency to fix the defense and invest in impact players. Like Jerry said, the owner, you get what you pay for. Mr. Jones said when he signed Dak, anything that he has overpaid for, he's never been disappointed in. Well, we've underpaid for a whole lot of things here on defense lately, and they have underperformed. So like Mr. Jones said, we need to go out and get us some balls, some ball players.
I like when Nate pull the receipts up on the owner. Pull the receipts up on the owner, Nate. No, I like when
I already put in my invoice for this month, so I'm good.
So what's the question? You said you had a question for me. You're going to ask me something.
The question is, do you believe in what Mr. Jones saying? You pay for what you get. And who was a bigger fan than the defensive signings last year? And I'm like, okay, we got him at a bargain. We finally found some players, and then it took us 8 games. I know injuries allowed those guys to stay around. Guys learning the system, so allowed those guys to stay. But we cannot afford to have that type of letdown coming in with a new coach. Just think, we got a new defensive coordinator putting in his attacking scheme of his variation of a 4-3 that he wants. His safeties are vital in how he plays. He like a up and back guy. He like guys that can come up and go back. He like intelligent guys on his back end. So he's trying to bring in a new culture, a new way, and you ain't giving him nothing to drive. Yeah. You giving him Carlos Watkins. I don't know this kid, and I'm not finna knock this kid. He may come in and really advance himself in this scheme, but he's a 3-4 tackle. That means he plays over the tackles. He may not be used to playing over guards. Even though they say they move him down in the scheme in a reduced look, I understand that. But and they say they've talked to Sheldon Rankins, they've talked to this guy, they've talked to that guy. We have to give Dak a helping hand. With the offense that we have in place, and if our offensive coordinator has learned anything from last year, how to dictate pace and how to help the game along, okay, with Dak sitting on the bench for a whole year, learning and watching, I hope Tom Brady, I hope Drew Brees, I hope the great quarterbacks in the league, and watching how they manipulate and touch and help their defenses and special teams. C.J. Goodwin we got back. Jordan Lewis, you are a slot corner. Don't do nothing else. Slot corner. For the next 3 years, slot corner. You're in the slot. Okay? So we go out and get something better. Shannon, you know I'm right. Every time Jordan Lewis try to be more than a slot corner, we have to see him on this thing saying, man, if we just do our job, I'm mainly speaking to myself, do your job. You got 3 years. Do your job. So, no, I'm serious, man. And
no, I know.
Awuzie, more power to you, bro. Bye. More power to you.
All right, you asked me a question without asking me a question, then you reiterated that you really didn't ask me a question. So I'm just going to give my own question back to you guys.
You looking good, Shannon.
Thanks,
you looking good.
Nate.
Good.
I like the.
You are looking good today. You got the hair slicked back, got the blazer on. You are looking very debonair for a Thursday.
Got the thing in the pocket.
Got to cut it. Well, I'm on the Cowboys
good,
UK
man.
podcast this afternoon, so I had to get fixed up for those guys.
Oh.
I had to dress up for those guys.
International.
Appreciate them having me on. Our friends across the pond. So I don't know why they're having me on because I don't really know anything, but I'll get on there and.
But I asked you a question. Is Mr. Jones right? And you just ignored it.
It is the star. Nate, here's what I think you have the pieces, right? You have the pieces on, even as bad as the defense was.
Offensively, we do.
You have pieces is what you have. You don't have any playmakers per se on defense, right? You could argue DeMarcus Lawrence is a playmaker. Do you have a game changer on defense right now? I don't think you have someone that can change a game. And for the last several years, Brandon Carr is the last guy that I can remember that they paid a lot of money they brought in, right?
Yeah.
So they've been trying to get people on the cheap. They've been trying to get guys in here, and it hasn't worked. They're trying to grow their own guys. I get that. Well, you grow them, and then when it comes time to pay them, you let them walk out the door. So I don't know what the philosophy is on defense. I do think at some point, I don't think you can roll into the season with what you have now and hoping to fix it in the draft, because if a guy on defense comes in and if he's great as a rookie, how often does that happen?
No.
You need a year or two to develop. So if you want this defense to be better this year than you're going to have to go spend money and not do what you've done in the past and just get guys in here, because right now you've got guys, and there's some of them that are better than others. They're not all bad, but as a unit, they were bad last year, and you haven't changed anything. You got a new deep snapper. You got rid of the punter. You signed Jordan. We love Jordan, but you're right. Anytime he tries to do anything outside of the slot, you hear him in the after the game. I tried to do too much. I tried to do this. You let Cheeto go, which Cheeto was good. Was he great? Not great, but he was good. He was a piece. So I don't know how you are going to get better unless you go unless you go get somebody. And I guess that's my question to you guys. Do you go spend, or do they even have the money? I'm not a salary cap guy, but do they have the money to go get a Patrick Peterson or somebody like that's available that can change a game for you? I don't know what they're going to do.
I feel like we had this conversation last year. Here, like Nate was saying,
Nate started.
We got a new defensive coordinator. We got a new coaches. We got to build the team so he has some players to work with. And then they brought in Clinton Dix and Don Terry Poe and a bunch of guys that didn't work out. And so
my Dunkin' Donut brother.
So we're looking at a situation where I think it sounds like we all kind of agree. Maybe I'm wrong, that instead of cherry picking all these little cheap guys and going maybe more for,
you got the cheap guys now.
Yeah, and instead of quality or quantity instead of quality, they quality, and maybe they get one or two, spend a little bit more on those.
Go get you a badass.
Yeah, and I think the way that I'm not a salary cap guy either, but I think if they want a guy, they can move things around and get it, and they know they've got salary cap's going to take a huge jump in the coming years with the TV, so they could probably work out, lower hit this year, bigger hits later down the road. So I think it can be done, but for whatever reason, and as players, maybe you guys know why don't they spend the money? Or are they looking at this like, well, Dak was our free agent spend, and so now we're not going to spend on the defense? I don't know.
Check this out. Okay, you got Antoine Woods, who will be back. He threatened he'll be back. Neville Gallimore, excuse me. Tristan Hill, you got to go with him. I messed up a name again.
I think his name's Neville, but it's okay. I like Neville. I like the enthusiasm you said it with.
What? Okay, I'm like Coach Landry. Do something, I'll learn we got these three young guys who we have drafted, and if they can rotate and hold up with the new guy, Carlos Watkins, I bet you ain't messing up his name. because he's done something in the league. Well, I don't know if the Texans have done anything. They've been in the playoffs. If you can take those 4 inside guys and work with them, now all of a sudden, this is what I believe, Jesse, and this is where I need your help. If I think I have anything that's nice for a front four, I'm selling out on the back end. I'm bringing corners galore in here. I'm bringing safeties galore in here. Don't worry about the linebackers right now. That's just think if we can get any pressure up front, our linebackers will be okay. Let's get all the corners and safeties we can get and bring them in here. And let's flood up that back. Let's have competition all over the place. Where every day we came in and say, "Well, such and such lost his job today because this guy played better. This guy practiced better. The competition is great, and we'll know because see, when you got great receivers as a whole on our offense with Dak back, come on, man, you gonna know whether these cats can play.
You're surprised.
You gonna know real quick.
I didn't think.
Why is that?
Well, I just thought
no, Kurt. No, Kurt.
Sorry.
No, Kurt. Don't do it, Kurt. Don't do it, because he sounds so. What Nate is saying, it sounds so familiar. It's like someone we all know that may do a show with people we all know.
Yes, sir. Preach.
Said something.
Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir. That's right. I even cook my ribs in a crock pot now. Let's go.
And then they insult you.
I did not insult you.
Oh man.
I did not insult you. For stating the obvious last week.
The name is like on the tip of my tongue.
Okay, Jesse, come on, get on with it. Come on, Jesse, get on with it. Let's go. We know what you're saying. Come on
from me sometime.
Come on, man. I know you need some attention.
What are we saying, Shannon? Nate, what is Nate saying, Shannon? Please help me. Please help me.
I think he's agreeing with you.
He's saying the same thing that some guy
surprising.
said a couple of weeks ago.
I thought you would be pump up that defensive line. I thought you'd be let's get some defensive tackles in here.
This coach is a defensive line guru. This coach made his bread and butter helping defensive linemen. At some point, I remember we had a cornerback safety issue when we first started with Coach Johnson. Well, you know what? When it's so obvious, what he did is he brought in 100 corners and safeties, starting at the beginning of the year through free agency, which was plan B, and then the draft. Sometimes, if you think something is so bad, you got to start somewhere fixing something. And why not just fix all that secondary? Why not try to do the best you can to bring in as many guys as you can that are competitive and that can play?
So, do you want to? Do you want to go?
Don't work.
Do you want to bring in? Do you want to try to bring in one really stud cornerback and pay that man, a little bit more money? Or are you looking at, the second tier guys or third tier guys and try to get off?
You already got the rookie from Bama. You already said that Jordan Lewis is your slot. Now we need 3 more guys. You get one guy through free agency. Don't be cheap with him. Yeah,
but you need a true starter.
Don't be cheap with him. Yeah, bring in another true starter and give him some decent money. I don't know what decent money at this time with the cap dropping about $11 million. I don't know what decent money is, but whatever it is, pay him that decent money. Bring him in here for a couple of years and draft everything you can get, touch everything you can get. Because if you have a glaring need, but we have several on defense, but the defensive line, you got to, this guy is a defensive guru when it comes to defensive linemen. He's supposed to know how to get guys going in the right direction. He's going to have a rotation. Let's get going.
We said that last year.
Let's get going. Let's fix. You have to fix something. You have to fix something on this defense. You have to fix something. We can't go in the next year saying, okay, we got a Band-Aid in the secondary again. We got a Band-Aid on the defensive line again. And I don't know what's in the middle of the defense. I don't even know what's in the middle of the defense. So
you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to fix?
That's how we go.
We're going to fix Jesse. We're going to take a break, and we're going to figure out what the hell is going on with Jesse.
Nothing is wrong with me.
He is so over the show.
Yeah.
Like I think when you work with somebody and they just totally check out because they got something else lined up, and something's going on, and then like 3 weeks later they like, hey, I got another gig, and you're like, I knew something was wrong with you because you was acting weird. You acting weird, Jesse. You leaving us? You cheating on us?
No, we'll never do that.
Okay.
We'll never do that.
Well, we're gonna take a break.
I just like when we get Nate in a talking groove. You gotta let him just. It's like when Nate was that pulling guard and he come around that corner. And listen, whatever was in his way, he was mowing down. Ain't gonna be no putting the brakes on. Ain't no putting the brakes on.
All right.
So when he came out early in the show and had his eye on that corner, that safety out there, he was a pulling guard, and 22 was coming behind him. We gotta let that boy mow it down. Let Nate mow that thing. Let him go. Right, let him mow it down until he hit his head on the goalpost or a touchdown.
All right. Well, we'll take a break and we'll let Nate mow when we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
1996, a great year and a glorious decade. Dolly the Sheep was cloned. Dial-up was awesome. Influencers didn't exist. Pants were baggy. And the Dallas Cowboys won it all yet again. Sadly, we can't go back to the 90s, but we can still watch the Cowboys try to win it all once more. Whether you're traveling to the games or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Petit Jean Meats has been providing high-quality meat for families for more than 90 years. Using only the best cuts of meat and quality ingredients, Petit Jean Meats still smokes their meats the old-fashioned way, over real hickory chips for 18 hours. Fill your pantry with Petit Jean Meats ham, sausage, bacon, and more. Or send your loved ones a gift box full of their favorite items from pjmeats.com. That's pjmeats.com. Petit Jean Meats. Taste the difference.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We are back, the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, and I didn't pull the live reads up, so I'm going to tell you about Tommy John. You want to read about Tommy John, Kurt?
You're right ahead.
Just talk about it. It's been a while since you talked about underwear on this show.
I have Tommy John on right now.
I actually do too.
Good.
It does feel good.
Yeah,
That's why I'm standing up, just letting the breeze blow, just swaying back and forth. Tommy John, go get you some. DallasCowboys.com/Tommy John. No. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
No, by now.
Go to TommyJohn.com, buy you some underwear. They're great. They've been a great partner. They've been a great supporter, of the show for several years now. So we greatly appreciate them. So go check it out. TommyJohn.com. Let's talk. You want to talk about the tournament for a second, Jesse? Since you're supporting your team there, how do you feel about their chances this year?
I'm biased. I'm biased, but I'm honest. I mean, we're an 8 seed. We're an 8 seed right now. We start 4 freshmen. The tournament has been and will always be about the veteran teams. Mm-hmm. If you got a veteran team, especially veteran guards, you have a really good chance of winning the tournament. It's been a guard-driven league and tournament for as long as you can remember. So, we got a chance. We got a chance to make some noise. But we've been too inconsistent all year long. We'll have a game and we'll dominate, and we'll blow a team out, and then we'll come back and we'll lose to a less superior team than us, just because we have that. We have that youthfulness. We have that
so familiar.
That youthfulness about us, and just it's gonna be fun. It's always fun to cheer on your team during this time. So I'm just hoping that we make it very. I mean, we'll get to like maybe the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you ever?
Really? Okay.
Y'all gonna go that far, Jess?
Dang.
Huh?
From an 8 seed, y'all going that far?
You got to worry about Wisconsin here.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm worried about him getting out of the first round. Jesse got him going to the Elite Eight.
Yeah. Wow. We're gonna shock the world. We'll beat Wisconsin, then we'll shock the world and beat Baylor, and then we'll lose to like.
You made Chris Beam upset with that comment.
Baylor got some bullies, man. Baylor got some bullies. Y'all ready for that bully ball, boy?
But see, that's our like this year we've been. I know when I say this, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, run that back," but we're big inside. Like we got some big boys inside. You know what I'm saying? We're big in the middle. We're big in the we're big in the middle. So that's that. We welcome that.
I'm used to that being big in the middle. I'm used to that. I'm with you.
Yeah. Jesse, if you
so
since you
that's what.
Go ahead.
No, I said that's the kind of game they want to play. Is a bully game that plays directly into what we're really, really, really good at. But most teams don't have the depth. We got about 4, 6'10". We got 2 7-footers and 2 6'10", 11 guys, and so we can play that game.
Have you been to any tournament games since you graduated?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this like your favorite time of the year, watching the tournament?
My last one that I was at that literally crushed me, and I sat in the stands for about 2 hours until they made me leave, was when Villanova beat us in Houston at the buzzer in the championship game. I sat there for like 2.5, 3 hours after the game was over, just in disbelief.
Oh, poor
and they're
Jesse.
like, sir, we're trying to clean this row. Yeah.
How'd your high school team do?
It was a big party that Michael...
in the state tournament.
You talk about disappointment. Let me tell you that.
More disappointment.
Man.
Hey, it's better him talking about this than our defense. Go ahead on.
That's a disappointment in itself. So like I told you guys last week, the Kingdom Collegiate Academy Cougars were going to the state championship game.
Yes.
On Wednesday of last week, a cheerleader tested positive for COVID.
Oh, no.
Wow.
On Thursday, after our show, a player tested positive for COVID. The cheerleader was in the same class as the player. So, in essence, we had to, not in essence, in actuality, we had to forfeit our position in the state championship game. And so we lost. We didn't even play it.
Oh, man.
The team that we beat that Tuesday by 35, they actually put them in our place. The game was in College Station, and they got beat by 13 to Cypress, the Covenant School in Cypress. And so Cypress, the Covenant School, is the Group 1A TAP state champion. And it should have been KCA, but COVID, and we haven't had a COVID issue in athletics all year long.
Oh, man.
Wow. Sorry to hear that, brother.
That's terrible.
Sorry,
I was so heartbroken for those boys. I was so heartbroken. It took me like 2 or 3 days to really kind of get out of the funk, because the disappointment and just heartbreak. We have 4 seniors. It was tough. It was a tough pill to swallow. But life is about learning things through adversity and through disappointment and through failure. And the goal is to hopefully learn something through this. I'm still trying to figure out what, but gotta let things happen for no reason. So
now, Nate,
shout out to my boys, Kingdom Collegiate Academy boys.
Yep, shout out. Sorry about that, Nate. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you look like you found a little bit of joy in Jesse's misery. Why are you laughing and smiling?
Oh no, well no. What I pray for Jesse is, and I was kind of saying a little prayer, was when something bad happened in Jesse's life, he go into 2 and 3 day funks, at least 2 hours minimum. So he went into a 3-hour funk behind Villanova. He went into a 3-day funk behind his team. Lord, don't let that happen to y'all on this show where this boy missed him $10. Because, man, we may miss this dude for a month. So everybody stay healthy, stay strong, stay good.
Hey, Nate, you just reminded me about putting in those invoices. I've been putting in invoices in about 2 months.
Come on, Nate.
2 or 3 months. I need to go get that invoice put in for the...
You've been helping people, man, through this bad time.
You have been. You rich.
I have.
Yeah.
You're rich too. Whenever you just don't need money, you just don't even need to invoice.
You forget that I know you forget to put invoices.
You can't hide money, Jesse.
I'm glad you reminded me though.
Nate, how about you?
I'm gonna tell you something.
You get into the brackets and stuff.
No, I don't have no brackets. I used to go with what's the voice of the Mavericks? Chuck Cooperstein.
Mm-hmm.
His son used to do my brackets.
Really?
And
it's random.
I love baby Chuck. We never got it far. And then I tried to pick brackets. I ain't go even as far as he would get me. He would at least get me to the Elite Eight with a few teams. But I'm gonna tell you something. I watch it and enjoy it because Florida and them. We ain't got nothing to be in the play-in game, so I don't know the joy that Jesse knows. You know what I'm saying, or that you guys know.
Kurt, what about you?
But I don't go into a 3-day funk either. I still watch it.
I fill out a bracket, and I'm not a huge college basketball fan, so I'm not very,
What you got on your first? What you got? Who you got?
Well,
who going to your Elite Eight?
I don't know. I haven't done my bracket yet. I've always been a Kansas fan, so I'll throw them in there somewhere, but they probably won't do very well this year. But
okay,
yeah,
all right.
So you like Roy Williams too, then?
Yeah, that's he left. He abandoned that.
He came home. He came home.
I will give you that. He did have a reason for going back. So.
All right,
he came home.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah,
I let us stray, but we had to have a little bit of bracket talk. So, Kurt,
all right, get back, Nate. Let's go, Nate.
Let's get Nate going again.
Interesting breakdown by Blogging the Boys. With Dak last year, Michael Gallup saw the fewest targets among him, 25, Cooper 52, Lamb 37. Without Dak, Gallup 80. Woo.
Yeah, 80 targets. Cooper at 78.
Cooper 78, Lamb 74.
Read that, Kurt.
Basically, it's saying
what are you trying to say?
Is there anything to this that in 4 of Dak's 5 games he actually targeted Lamb more, and Gallup saw more targets when Dak was out? Is this maybe open the door or make you think, well, maybe they should use Gallup as a trade chip, get some of those defensive guys you want?
I'm asking Jesse that. That's for real.
That's a good question.
Because I ain't touching my offense.
Because here's how this thing plays out. When you're looking at the depth of receiver, Amari's your one. So a lot of times he's going to be the first option in a lot of the way when you draw things up. And then the way that we run things now in this 3 wide receiver set, CeeDee Lamb becomes your 2.
Yeah.
And so when you're working in practice, when Dak is running with the ones, you're kind of, going through your first option, your second option. You may actually get back to your third. But when coaches and players are in the rotation, Michael Gallup is going a lot with the second unit. It's not just wholesale, take out the 3 guys and put a whole new 3 guys in. Sometimes it is. But when you get into those live periods, where that, Dak might come in and get a couple plays, and then, the backup quarterback comes in and get a couple plays. It's the relationship between the backup quarterback and the receiver who isn't at the necessarily top. Who is the guy that he probably works with the most? When that backup quarterback goes and gets some of those scout reps, a lot of times, receiver 3 may be in that mix sometimes because he wants to get some reps. So it's nothing to do with Dak is not looking at Michael Gallup or there's a piece that could be traded. It's all about the relationship when the quarterback gets his reps and that receiver gets their reps. A lot of times when you see a backup quarterback come in, you see him start looking at, that number 3 wide receiver or that tight end because these are the guys that he most used to working with in this time during practice. So it's that relationship of comfortability and realizing where he's going to be, how he likes the ball, and you want to kind of get some throws in. And then Michael Gallup also is one of those guys who's always running those deep routes. So when a quarterback is new to coming in and trying to assess the defense, even though Andy Dalton may have come in with the knowledge of what he's seeing, when quarterbacks love to throw the fade ball. I don't care what the quarterback. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care if it's Johnny Manziel. I don't care if it's John Unitas. When a quarterback lines up and they see the opportunity to kind of give that look and that wink to that fade ball, they're taking it because chicks dig the long ball, right? It's like, so whether it's a home run or it's a quarterbacks always want, even when you're down in Little League, go ahead, go deep. Everybody wants to throw the fade ball. And that's primarily what Michael Gallup would get. Michael Gallup would get because coverage will be slanted over towards Amari and CeeDee Lamb. And then on the backside, by himself, the Z receiver, Michael Gallup, one-on-one coverage, safety in the middle of the field. Let me go ahead and take more shots to the guy who's getting the least amount of coverage looks, and I have more one-on-one opportunities with him on the backside. So when you see the numbers and how it played out for a quarterback to come in, I'm always going to go with the easy reads because I don't want to mess it up. I just want to go out here and make completions. When you look at what Dak is able to do, he's able to come in and really survey the field and take more chances at other guys, but in all actuality, CeeDee Lamb is better than Michael Gallup. Amari Cooper is better than Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup makes some big plays, and he's a key component to your offense. But, if you're talking about trading him, now you're talking about taking that missing piece away from what's been so cohesive of a unit.
Can I ask you about
you can't ask any questions on this show.
This is a practice-related question. So you said that like, say, Dak was working with Amari and Lamb, and then Dalton would come in and he'd work with Gallup and Cedric Wilson or whatever. But when he gets in the game, he's got all those guys in there. Do quarterbacks? I mean, I would think that he's throwing Gallup, he's throwing the deep slant or whatever to Gallup when he's there. But in the game now, Amari's running that, so I would think he would like routes better than players, if that makes sense. Or he'd be more comfortable with routes than players or something.
It goes back to what is the coverage? Because as a backup, I just want to make completions. So when I look out there, where is the easiest throw for me? The easiest throw for me is backside with the Z receiver, because the front side, it has the slot, and they're not respecting Swaim or whoever. They're respecting CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper on the front side. So everything is shifted over to the front side of the 2x2 set. When I look backside, I say, oh, there's Michael Gallup. I just want to get a completion. Why force it in over here to Amari when I got the number 3 corner on my 2B wide receiver? I'm going to take this throw all day long because I want to get completions. And then once I get into a rhythm, now I can kind of start working some more of those other tighter windows over here with with Lamb and Amari Cooper. So for a quarterback, especially a backup quarterback, I just want to come in and get completions. I just want to get the ball matriculating down the field. So I'm going to take the easiest throw that I can get. When I look at how it is based on coverage, Michael Gallup is the one that kind of gives me the best throw on any particular down, because I have Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb almost always to the same side.
Nate?
Jess, I asked this question, man. And I ask it a lot. A lot of times, man, how do our offensive coordinator, and maybe I should ask him this question, is Amari is our best wide receiver. Why did we don't have him in better positions as the game go on so he can be more successful as the game go on? Because, I'm not saying he's Hopkins, and I'm not saying he's other elite guys on other teams, but how do these guys wind up with 100 and something catches a year, 12 or 13, 1,400 yards and 18,000 TDs? I mean, how do they do it? And they don't have nearly the complementary receivers that we have.
Well, you just answered the question right there. The ending of your question is the answer to the question. They don't have the complementary receivers, so quarterback are forced to give the ball to DeAndre Hopkins 200 times a year because Will Fuller's always hurt and another guy's always hurt, or he drops the ball. So again, as a quarterback, especially when I'm in those third down situations, I'm looking for the guy who I know is going to give me a very high % of bringing the ball in for a completion, even if he's double covered. So when you look at other guys like Hopkins, when you look at a guy like, Antonio Brown, when he was in his prime, you're saying these guys are pulling down 100 catch seasons. None of them really have a complimentary receiver like you've had in Michael Gallup, or now that you have in year 2 coming in with CeeDee Lamb. And that's the gift and the curse about having the offense that the Dallas Cowboys have, because you run this risk of, and this is the part where Kellen Moore needs to continue to grow and mature. And this thing is, imagine running to the sideline and every single time. You don't think Zeke is saying he wants the ball more? You don't think Amari is as quiet as we say Amari Cooper is? He asks for the football. Trust me. You don't think CD is not saying that he wants the football? You don't think Michael Gallup's not saying he wants the football? You pay the tight end. You don't think everyone wants the football. And
but
so
you know
now,
what? I understand that, my brother. But you know what? He should get it. Those 2 first guys you named, they should get it. In big time situations, they should get it. Michael Irvin got it. Emmitt Smith got it. They should get it. And they're a more powerful offense than us. Player for player, they are a more powerful offense than us. We had Alvin Harper, who was a nice receiver. We had Kevin Martin, who was a hell of a slot receiver. But when it came time for big plays, Michael Irvin lined up and got the rock. And I think that Amari should line up and get the rock. If he everything that you say he is, and I got to believe you, Jesse, you are the gospel, that he should get it.
I'm with you, but there were situations where we had Amari Cooper on the sidelines last year in big moments.
A lot.
Like Michael Irvin would have never let that happen.
Yeah.
Like imagine Michael Irvin. Imagine it's a 3rd down in the 4th quarter, or it's a 4th down in the 4th quarter, and anyone with a voice tells Michael Irvin, "Hey, double eights, come to the sideline. No, we're throwing the pass, but I need you to come out of the game." What? He would have had a conniption on the football field.
Right.
So you say we should give Amari the ball in these situations, but we've seen on countless amount of times someone on the sideline said, "Hey," or I don't know if it's the sideline or it's Amari. Someone said, "Hey, 19, come over here and sit with us for a second. Let Noah Brown go in there and run this reverse, or let so-and-so go in here and run this pass play on 4th down in the 4th quarter in a divisional game." That doesn't happen with Michael Irvin. You think 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, you're gonna say, "Hey, Emmitt, come here. Let Troy Hambrick run this one." No. No, you would stand up in the huddle. If you were in the huddle on 4th and 1 and you saw what's your boy name who played running back at Alabama? Sherman
Richardson.
And you saw him run to the sideline saying, Emmitt, come on, you out. You would say, "What the hell are y'all doing? It's 4th and 1 in a divisional game in the 4th quarter."
We would automatically know that that's a play action pass.
All right, let's take our last break.
That's a play action pass.
We come back. I'm going to go off script because I have a question. I have actually an opinion that I haven't really heard anyone talk about, and I want to get y'all's thoughts on my opinion when we come back.
Breaking news
for the last segment, and then we'll have Kurt's Corner right after that. Hanging with the boys.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Hey, Cowboys fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience AT&T Stadium's exclusive VIP Owners Club. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We are back, and I don't have my live reads pulled up again. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to – I'll do the live read in a minute. I have a question for you guys, or actually I have an opinion, and I want to know y'all's feedback on this opinion because I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about it. With Washington signing Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think that's a problem. I think that's a big problem in this division because Fitzpatrick can throw you into games. He can throw you out of the games. But one thing he has always done is he has moved the football. And I think you couple him with the defense that they have that can keep you in games when you make mistakes. I think this is going to be a huge problem. I think the signing of him, he's going to be their stopgap quarterback. They've got to get a young guy in there. He's got to tutor him.
A stopgap for 10 years.
For 10 years, but he's always done a great job, right?
Yeah.
And he's good at mentoring younger guys, and they're probably going to maybe draft a guy or get a younger guy, and there's not going to be any doubt he's going to be the guy this year. But there's not going to be this quarterback controversy because he's not the long-term guy. But I think for this year, he's going to be a huge problem. And I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that. I think with that signing, man, they're the team to beat in this division now. I think that's who is going to be there at the end. Usually it's the Cowboys and the Eagles. I think it's going to be Washington and Cowboys or whoever. But I just want to get y'all's feedback because I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that. I think it's a problem. Huge.
Well, I mean,
I agree with you because I think.
Yeah. But
say it again, Kurt. Say it again, Kurt.
Well, it might have been Jesse last week. He said,
"Come on, Kurt."
He's just racking them up today. Look at it. He's just so. He's just so
y'all
excited.
gotta let Kurt talk, man.
Stop interrupting
Kurt.
Here we go again. All Jesse said last week that Washington had the better team because of the defense.
Oh my
now
God.
Curtis finna go ahead.
We've been saying that they needed a quarterback.
You're right. Call on God. Call on God, Jesse.
Amen, quarter. They needed a quarterback.
Stop interrupting Kurt.
Like Shad just said, Fitzpatrick can win you some games. So that is going to be a problem.
They just added Curtis Samuels.
You would think.
Yeah, you guys have to stop interrupting Kurt when he's making great points.
I did not interrupt Kurt. Go ahead on, Kurt. Talk it.
No, I made my point.
Amen.
Go
Kurt.
ahead. What do you got to say,
Amen.
Nate? What do you have? What are you countering, Nate?
That was the last thing I was going to bring up. And Shannon, great job for taking it and running with it. Jesse, great job because you said last week that if they get a quarterback, this could be an ugly situation. Amen to you, Kurt, for going along and amen them some more.
No, he's right. They went out and they got one of Ron Rivera's old players and Kurt Samuels. You add him now to.
Jesse froze up on us. Go ahead, Nate.
I'm back. Here we go. I'm back.
He's like, don't take my airtime. I'm talking.
Let me say this right quick, Jesse. Do you agree that Fitzpatrick? This is why I'm even more scared now because he's becoming a better and more consistent quarterback when he went to Miami, he was a little bit better than he was in the last place. Now go ahead on, Jess. I'm with you all the way.
The thing is, he's playing with house money wherever he goes. Like, everything that he does, he's not playing for a contract. He's not playing for longevity. He's playing right now to just kick butt every single week. And when you can play that carefree, and sometimes he plays careless, but he is more than a capable quarterback. There is not a defense he has not seen. Think about that for a second. Mm-hmm. He's been in the league for 17 seasons. There is nothing that you can put on the field as far as coverages or anything like that Fitzmagic has not seen. And you give him a weapon like Scary Terry, who can tear you up in route running and who can blaze you down the field. You add Curtis Samuel to the mix. They had the tight end last year, Thomas. He's gonna improve this year. You had the running back out of the backfield, Gibson. They have. It reminds me of a much more souped up type of Baltimore Ravens when they had Delfer as the quarterback. His job is going to be, hey, Fitzmagic, can you go and get us 17 points? 17 to 20 points. Because if you can do that, we have enough with this defense, especially now the young guy they had last year got in a year. Chase Young has another year, you know what I'm saying? He had a year under his belt. He'll be able to come back, have a true offseason, have more time in the nuances of the defense. Ron Rivera won't be battling and going in and out of chemo and battling that situation he had to battle last year. Thank God that he is okay. But now everything is full bore and full go for that defense that was already top 5 last year. And you're probably going to add some more pieces to it this year because they've been active in free agency to address some of the needs that they had offensively. So to Kurt's point is that this Washington's football team has become very, and I'm not saying that they're Super Bowl contenders. What I'm saying is they have become scary players in winning this division. And so now when you're talking about not winning your division or having a serious competition in your division, when you look at the rest of the NFC, San Fran has gotten better. Los Angeles Rams have gotten better. The Cardinals have gotten better. I don't know what will happen in Seattle, but if Russell Wilson comes back, you gotta assume that team's going to be in the playoffs. And so now you start looking around the league. Tampa Bay is going to be better. I don't know what the Saints are going to be, but I say all that to say, if you don't win the division, now you have to start finding places where you can fit in. Minnesota's going to be good. Green Bay is going to be good. Where will the Cowboys fit in to finding themselves in the playoff picture if you don't win the division? That's what it comes down to. Is how can I find myself, if you're telling me that I won't get the automatic bid for winning the division into the playoffs and that I may now have to go to some sort of wild card scenario, I'm looking around the league and I'm saying, whew, this NFC is loaded across the board. Mm-hmm. And I don't know where you'll fit into the equation of potentially getting into the playoffs. And if not, now I got to go to Tampa Bay and face that juggernaut of a football team on the road in week one of the playoffs. So it becomes a very scary situation what the Washington football team is doing, and they got a quarterback that, again, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not going to take you to the Super Bowl, but he's going to make you super competitive week in and week out. And with that defense, he doesn't have to do as much on the offensive end to carry a game. He just can't lose it on more occasions than he wins it.
All right, it took us.
Wow, Jesse.
Washington just signed another cornerback too, William Jackson. That Pro Football Focus had him as a top 20 cornerback, so their defense is going to be even better.
And Kurt and Jesse, let the church say, amen.
Hey, it took us about 53 minutes to get him going. But you couldn't.
I was going to get it in one way or another.
Once he got going, you could not stop him. He cranked the lawnmower up and he started mowing.
I'm going to earn my $10. I I never want Derek to tune in and be like, you know what? I don't know if I want to pay him this $10 anymore. No, sir.
This show.
Let's go.
This show is like an NBA game. You really don't need to watch the first 90% of it. You can just tune in for the very last probably 10 minutes of the show.
You would have missed Nate Singer at the
that's
beginning.
where all your money is made is the last.
Because
this show goes off the rails at the end.
Man.
Hey, by the way,
Yes,
Nate, this is right up your alley. Did you know Monster Jam is going to be at AT&T Stadium March 27th and 28th? Have you ever been to the Monster trucks?
It is, man.
Yeah. Have you ever been out there?
Nah, man. I love them big trucks, man. I got me a truck that rolls up to the sky, baby.
Do you?
Yeah.
Man, I figured you'd be all about monster trucks and motocross.
Wednesday.
All right, yeah, do it.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
Fat man getting in and out of a truck.
Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com now. Monster Jam, March 27th and 28th. Go check it out. So, well, Kurt.
Yes, sir.
How did you enjoy your corner? Because the time's up.
No, it's great. I love this conversation.
You want to go?
Yeah.
You want to go?
I don't need a corner. I'm amen corner.
You want to go grab some
All
lunch?
he got to do is just get his voice, get his preacher going, just stroke his preacher, put him a little change in his little cup, and he'll go to hollering and screaming.
Let's go grab some lunch, Kurt.
Listen,
hey, Nate,
I make sure I take care of Kurt on the side. You know what I'm saying? They tied to me. I take care of Kurt on the side.
Yeah.
Nate, good seeing you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Jesse, good luck to your Tar Heels. Hopefully, they're still playing next week when we have the show on Thursday.
Jesse.
Because if not, we ain't coming to get you off the porch. So we might have to do the show without you if they don't hang in there. So, Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air, keeping things going. Kurt, good to see your face in person again.
Yes.
Man. Fist bump through the glass. All right, fellas.
We'll
be
guys,
back
man.
next Thursday, same time, same place.
Tell your mothers and fathers and all y'all we say hello now.
My daddy ain't here.
Uh-oh. There you go. There you
go. Now I'm gonna be down for 2 or 3 more days, Nate.
We'll see you. Get out of it by Thursday.
He ain't come back, Nate.
See you next week. Hanging with the boys. Peace.
Waiting, Nate. He ain't here.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!